search engine tech.
All right. Holy crap, man. That was insane. That's just too much. It was out of control. Out of control. God. Yeah, so I wanted to have a look at this.
To find.
So I've had a look at the glass stuff. Fuck me, man. The OBS is so unstable. I think it was OBS's fault the entire time. Glass stuff is cool, but the container stuff. What are you referring to? I can't remember now, actually. Also, speaking of containers, did you... Is not unstable? Is that sarcasm? What was I gonna say? Did you notice the updates to Swift Data and also the foundational programming thing? No, was it foundational models for AI that you can just put into your app if you want to? That's pretty crazy. It's not crazy, but it's cool.
Clusters of words in your project. In this search mode, I can enter a set of words. For example, here I'm trying to find where in my project I'm creating clipped, resizable images. Xcode will now find all the clusters of these words in proximity to each other across your documents, sorting the documents by relevance. The clusters can span multiple lines, and the search terms can appear in any order, making this a really powerful feature.
It is, right?
There's a big step forward this year for accessibility in Xcode.
It's massive.
You can now easily use voice control to write Swift code, and you can pronounce the Swift code just as you would naturally read it aloud. In this mode, voice control understands...
Why does everyone seem so weird in these Apple
Swift
talks?
syntax. It will figure out where spaces should appear, whether expressions correspond to...
It's like, I know they're reading off something, but you can read off something and not sound so insane or weird or look like an AI person or something. You know what I mean? Like, they have some sort of directions given to them. You know, I thought majority of the people in the actual Apple event, that not the developer stuff, but the developer event announcement stuff, I thought most of them were actually AI people.
Operators or should be camel cased, and so on. To fully appreciate how cool this is, it's best to see it.
Maybe she is.
With Swift mode for voice control, I can navigate and edit my Swift code just by speaking to my Mac. Let's use this to add a field to our landmark inspector for the landmark's continent.
Oh my god.
Start listening. Swift mode.
Whoa! She just says start listening and it listens.
Select labeled content. 4.
What the?
Go to the end of the line. New line, new line. If let continent equals landmark.continent. Open brace. New line. Labeled content, paren, quote, continent, quote, comma, value, colon, continent.
Holy fuck, what am I watching?
Correct quote continent. 1. Stop listening. Notice that the continent field now appears near the bottom of my preview, and I...
What the fuck was that? That was kind of insane.
Didn't touch my keyboard once. Now let's talk about iterating on code. Using previews has always been a great way to quickly iterate on your UI code. This year, we're introducing a new macro called Playground, which you can use to quickly iterate on any code. As with previews, you can add a playground inline in your
How to install Xcode 26. That's what I want to know. Requires a Mac running macOS Sequoia 15.4. So I can run it. I don't have to update my Mac to run the new Xcode. So I actually have it downloaded here. Let me grab the damn hello? Let me grab the damn Xcode.
document, and the results of the code execution will appear in their own Canvas tab. Let me show you a demo. I've noticed a bug in the Landmarks app where landmarks are showing up in the wrong place on the map. I'm going to use a playground to poke around at the landmark struct and see if I can figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Importing the Playgrounds module gives me access to the Playground macro. Let's load a sample landmark so we can examine its data.
Okay.
In the canvas, I see an entry
How'd you get example data?
for each expression in my playground. I just have one, which is the landmark structure for the Grand Canyon, and I can see the values for each of its properties. Some of the property types have a quick look icon. Let's look more closely at the coordinate property. Okay, that seems odd. The Grand Canyon shouldn't be inside a city. I can add another expression to my playground to get more information about the region for this landmark. As I modify the playground, expressions in it are rerun and the canvas updates automatically. Yeah, the Grand Canyon is definitely not in China. Let's figure out what's going on here. When we load landmarks from a file, we use a regular expression to parse the location coordinates from a string. This is the regular expression we're using. Maybe there's a problem with it that's causing our coordinates to be parsed incorrectly. Let's investigate that in another playground. When I add a new playground, I get a new tab in the canvas.
Here we go. My AI, what? Xcode beta. Do I just put that into my applications folder? All right, let's open that up. Xcode beta, bitch. Can I say bitch on here? Download and install iOS. Oh, I have to quit Xcode to do this.
Let's add some code to this playground. We're going to call the function
right?
where that regular expression is defined. I'm using a sample input string and extracting some computed results into local variables so they're easier to examine. Some types, such as regular expression match results, have custom visualizations in the canvas. And in this case, I can see that Xcode highlights the match range in the original string. The match range makes it clear that there was a problem.
If she was real, how they must have had to rehearse this because holy shit, there's no way that Xcode is open, I guess. Wait, Xcode, does this work? There's no way that they don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? Okay. We're in the new one here. So we can canvas pause, sleep. I'm not gonna click refresh there. I'm just gonna, there's nothing to refresh, I think. Or maybe there is. Oh, because I don't have, yeah, I don't have, Xcode is downloading right now. Okay, let's go back to this.
Capturing the minus sign. And now the bug makes sense, as the negative longitude would have been parsed as a positive number, putting the Grand Canyon in the wrong place. I'm going to fix the expression, and if you watch the playground in the canvas while I do this, you'll see that the results update immediately. I can see in the visualization that the minus sign is now included in the range matched by the regular expression. And if I switch back to the original playground, I see that the Grand Canyon is now in the right place.
Okay.
And that's playgrounds. They're great for understanding existing code.
Playgrounds
as well
seems
as for
really
trying
good, though.
out new ideas.
I will say.
And the new playground macro is also being open sourced to bring the experience to Swift developers writing for other platforms. Check out the post on Swift forums and join in on the conversation.
What? Okay. Don't quite
Now
get
let's talk
that,
about
but-
icons. Icon Composer is a new
Oh yeah,
app.
this was interesting. Icon Composer. Can we actually open that up? Icon Composer. We can. Agree. Okay. Fascinating. I think you can't see this, but let me make this window. Here you go. This is Icon Composer. So this is new. They added this. Dark, mono, default. So you can change the colors of it. Whoa. What have I done? Oh my god, what's happening here? Huh? Okay, this is still some bugs they're working out, clearly. Whoa, too much. Okay, you can't zoom in or anything. Grids. Oh, you can make the grid light or dark. That's cool. This will come in handy, definitely. This icon generator, for sure. You make a circle, see how it looks in a circle. I guess, oh, for watchOS, and then iOS and Mac OS is that, and then you can obviously add in your picture and stuff, whatever you want to put in there. Icon Composer looks so good. Poor Linux dev like me can't have that. Oh. Time to adopt Swift. It's actually so nice. They've done well. Delete that.
Bundled with Xcode 26. With Icon Composer, you can create beautifully
It's really
designed,
cool.
sophisticated, multi-layered icons that work across multiple platforms and software versions. Over the last few years, we've made it easier to create icons for all platforms. But
But
this
you
year,
still need
icons
to-
don't only differ.
You still need to like make your own, like icons technically. What would it? I mean, that would be an icon, like a little like sprite. I don't know, sprite. No, sprite. I don't know. You
Depending
know what I
on
mean?
the platform
You
you're
still have to
building
make the
for.
cloud.
They now
the,
vary in modes, including dark
the
and
sun.
tinted modes on iOS, iPadOS, and macOS.
separately,
And there's a new
right?
look for watchOS as well. Now, all of this can be achieved in one single file using Icon Composer.
Wonderful.
You can take advantage of the full range of our material effects and even add dynamic properties to your layers, like blur, shadow, specular highlights, and translucency.
Very cool.
Not only that, the tool is great for creating flat icons that are compatible with previous operating systems, web pages, or anywhere else you need them. To learn more about app icons and how to use Icon Composer, check out Say Hello to the New Look of App Icons and Create
What's
App
SVG?
Icons with Icon Composer.
What is that?
Bringing your app to more users around the globe is incredibly valuable. Supporting different languages helps people feel at home in your app. And with string catalogs, localization can be a breeze. String catalogs have gotten some big enhancements this year to make life easier for both developers and translators. For developers, we've added type-safe Swift symbols for localized strings. Developers wanting more precise control over strings can define them directly in the string catalog, which now produces Swift symbols that can be accessed in code. These symbols even appear as autocomplete suggestions. And to assist translators,
I feel like her voice doesn't match her
now
face.
automatically generate comments that describe string context.
Her person.
Xcode accomplishes this by intelligently analyzing where and how a localized string is used in your project. It then generates comments using the on-device model. For more on string catalogs, please have a look at the Code Along session, Explore Localization with Xcode.
Let's see
provide coding assistance. You can ask general questions about Swift, like
so you can access ChatGPT and it'll do things straight away.
And because of the integration with Xcode, the model can take your code into consideration and answer specific questions about your project, or even make changes on your behalf.
Can it just straight up vibe for you? Generate?
In addition, we're introducing a handy lighter weight menu that...
This is really useful. I saw this is really good. Scalable vector graphics. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. The vector graphics.
You can use to automatically apply changes.
I never really that word, the vector graphics, is not really generally spoken by me. Like, I never really think about saying that. I know what it is, but I never like verbalize it, so it just wasn't in my vocabulary.
The selected code. When you bring up coding tools, you have quick access to common actions, or you can type a custom query into the text
We can
field.
pull out
Let's look at these features in more detail.
ChatGPT here, huh?
This app has a view that shows my favorite landmark collections, but I'm not familiar with the code and I don't know where that's implemented.
How do you pull
so
chat up?
I'm going to ask Xcode. Xcode sends the project context to the model.
How did you do it?
Which brings us to intelligence. Xcode is getting some additional exciting new intelligence features. Xcode can now use large language models
I can see it, but
such as ChatGPT to provide coding assistance.
Where does it appear
You can
here?
ask general questions about Swift, like, tell me about Swift concurrency. And because of the integration with Xcode, the model can take your code into consideration and answer specific questions about your project, or even make changes on your behalf. In addition, we're introducing a handy lighter weight menu that you can use to automatically apply changes to selected code. When you bring up coding tools, you have quick access to common actions, or you can type a custom query into the text field. Let's look at these features in more detail.
But how?
This app has a view that shows my favorite landmark collections, but I'm not familiar with the code and I don't know where that's implemented. So I'm going to ask Xcode. Xcode sends the project context to the model, and it replies with an explanation that describes the relevant source files and what they do. The model can also ask for more information from Xcode about additional context it needs while it's coming up with an answer. The info button in the transcript shows us the context that Xcode sent. The response also contains links so you can quickly navigate to any mentioned file.
Is this my...
This looks like the right one.
This is already my theme that I set up?
This is a great way to explore an unfamiliar codebase. Now, let's add a feature. Let's ask Xcode to add ratings to landmark collections. Here, I'm using the @ character to directly reference a symbol we want the model to modify. Typing the @ symbol into my prompt.
But okay, I'm confused. I'm confused how you bring it up. Xcode 26 ChatGPT. Where is it? Oh, to use ChatGPT, you need the updated Mac OS 26. Well, I'm echoing what this guy says. Doesn't even matter anyway because ChatGPT pretty much sucks with coding. I don't know why Apple went with them. Why would Apple do this? Why would they add ChatGPT, the clearly worst choice for AI? Why? How about instead of adding ChatGPT, they just put their own foundation model, they import it to their own damn system, and then you can like do on computer queries, excuse me, and just like ask, do it on just do it all on the Mac. And just import all the developer documentation into the damn thing and let it think there. What the hell? Stupid Apple. What have you done?
Lets me reference
Anyway, fuck this part.
Object with the query. And all default. In this case,
Yeah.
Catching bug.
editor and how you can use
Look at these AI people. Look at them.
once you've configured a set of models, you can quickly switch between them in the coding assistant when beginning a new conversation.
This is better that they have Anthropic there.
So that's a look through some of the new features in Xcode's workspace and source editor and how you can use code intelligence to get more creative and productive. Now I'll hand it over to Chris to tell us about debugging and performance.
Thanks, Eliza. Catching bugs and improving your app's performance are
Holy
crucial steps
shit.
to providing a great app experience.
These guys
This
are
year,
really
we have a few
AI,
exciting
right?
updates, starting with the debugger. Debugging Swift concurrency code has gained some great livability improvements in this year's Xcode.
I have
As
yet
you
to
step
learn
through
properly
code
about
running in a Swift
debugging,
task,
so I'm just going to skip over this.
It's
For
a
now.
powerful tool for analyzing, provide a guided approach to learning about risk
I'm
of
sure it's good and helpful.
GPU,
Sure it's
display, and networking. Power of your shipping, similar apps, and your...
What else is there? Anything?
Next, I'd like to talk about Xcode's build system. In Xcode 16, we introduced explicitly built modules enabled for C and Objective-C code. In Xcode
They're told to
26,
do
we're
nothing
excited
with
to
their
announce
hands,
that we are enabling
absolutely nothing
explicitly
with their
built
hands at all.
modules for Swift code. Earlier this year, see your changes live
Okay,
in
I
Xcode
think that we
using the
covered
instructions.
most of it. I don't think there's much.
Editing a collection is the main purpose of this test, so I'll interact with each of the fields on this screen to edit the title, description, and add a landmark.
I still have yet to learn about properly learn about testing as well. So yeah, let's remove that. We don't need that anymore. What is this? Oh yeah. So check this girl out. She looks absolutely insane. Like, just the whole way that she talks and everything. I mean, she doesn't sound insane, but just the way it all looks on her face and stuff. Is she at gunpoint right now? Is that what's happening?
Behavior.
Are they like, smile and don't fuck this up or you're literally dead?
This is great for building views like photo carousels.
That ending part, like...
Great for building views like photo carousels.
Oh my god.
To
Oh my
understand what performance issues still remain in our app, to quickly, looks like Swift support idle time, structured concurrent.
I feel like they...
With Explore.
I feel like they go over everything too
While
much
our app
now.
Concurrently.
I've noticed, like, in these videos I've watched, like, they talk about the same thing over and over and over again.
Custom, more volumetric layout direct in the sky based on where I'll be hiking at that time. Instead of a normal in the sun, you can.
I mean, I
with
understand the
enhancements to spatial
excitement
layout
because I have
in
it
Vision
too,
OS
but
26.
at the same
New tool
time, she looks like
backpacks that
she's
are
gonna
way-
die. Oh my god, this is bugged as well. It's making me click shit. What? All right, let's move on to something else here. What are we gonna look at? So I want to finish off this video because I didn't get a chance to do it, and then we can probably start trying it out. To be honest, we can start.
Completely wraps up.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, E23B009? I'm not gonna say your whole name.
Up our functionality for this feature. So let's just make sure we got everything checked off. We got our data. We got all these checked off.
I should make a poll, actually, and a new one, because the other one's gone. What shall I ask everybody this time? Oh. Here's a good one. No, I'm not ending the stream. No. Also, what's up? Big task. PC 2025. Why Swift in particular? Because I love it. It's easy to use, easy to learn. I love the Apple ecosystem, so I plan to make a lot of apps for Mac and iOS. I love using Mac, so naturally I would use Xcode. Xcode has a lot of great features. Yeah. I was just saying I'm going to add a poll. I'm going to add a poll for everyone to vote in. Here we go. Regrettably, yes. And then, hell no. Fool. Okay, Alright, I've got a great poll for you guys. Great poll question. Fuck. There you go. It's going really good overall. I'm getting, like, I had to cancel work today because I'm getting a few, like, little nodules removed from my, like, one from my hand and one from my nose and stuff. That's why there's like a little bump here. But the one on my hand, it's a little bit like, it hurts a bit, and physical work would probably be pretty bad, to be honest, so I canceled that. Otherwise, I'm great, and I'm happy to be streaming early and streaming for a long period of time today, and learning more Swift. I have not tried Flutter yet. I will. Bye. See you not. You not. I haven't tried Flutter yet. I am interested in trying it. I will at some point. Why not Python? Well, actually, Python, I'm interested in Python too, to be honest. That was actually the other language I was considering learning, especially because it meshed with Blender so well. I used to be a huge Blender nerd. But then I came across Swift, and like, I think I found my love for Swift when I started Swift Playgrounds through Apple, and I was like, oh, Apple's making a nice, easy way to get into coding. And I tried the Swift Playgrounds thing, and I was like, wow, I really love doing this. And then I just ended up somehow here now with Swift. Yeah. And oh, someone's actually switching over to Xcode now. Nice, whoever you are. What was the container stuff again? I don't remember. Swift container. Containerization framework and Swift. Oh, I didn't actually see this. Allows developers to run Linux containers on Mac OS. Oh yeah, actually I did hear about this. I didn't like log it into my memory. Then again, what do I ever really log into my memory, to be honest? That is pretty cool. I'm still reeling on the AI like framework that you can just chuck randomly into your app. That's sick. You got to CLG or something? If yes, what is your major? What is CLG? Sorry.
These. Yes, we are fully checked off, guys. So for the remainder of this video, we're going to be doing these follow-up questions first, and 2, we're just going to do a full overview of the project and explain why we did things the way we did them, just to make sure that we recap everything and we can articulate everything.
No, of course not. There's no way in hell I'm going back to college or university, especially for something like this. This is 100% learnable on your own time and at your own pace. And I am completely against the education system in every country I'm aware of or have experienced it, which includes the US and Australia. So, no, I did not and will not go for a degree for this, and I definitely do not need it, and you definitely do not as well. Apologies if I sound angry, because I am just adamant about that. However, I do actually have a degree, but it's unrelated. Well, it's pretty unrelated to this, but not fully unrelated. I have a marine biology. I have a bachelor in science, and I did a major in marine biology. But I actually started in marine science, which includes oceanography, which in turn involves a high level of coding, because you end up mapping the ocean floor and stuff, and they use a couple languages that you need to know for the dumbass old ass programs that they use to do that. Because the government, they never update anything. So yeah, I did actually learn a little bit of code, which I was terrible at learning when I was in there, and then I ended up dropping out of the marine science bachelor and swapped to a bachelor in science with a major in marine biology, and then that actually cut off my need for the coding.
That we did and why.
Because I definitely didn't want to do it there. And back then I didn't want to do this. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't a priority, you know?
So let's get started with these follow-up questions, guys. So follow-up question number 1, how would we persist our data between app launches or app sessions? So right now we have local persistence, but if we were to modify this data and kill the app and relaunch it, it would just restart to this original list. So persisting them between app sessions, we have a couple different options. We could use, let me just paste the answer in here.
Swift
and
data,
we'll expand on
yeah.
it. So we could use Swift or core data. We could also potentially use the file storage with the file manager or SQLite. And all of these options are valid options. It would really just depend on the needs and or constraints of our project. So all of these things would give us persistence. Obviously, Swift data would probably be the most convenient option.
Love Swift data.
It is the easiest, and we get a lot of built-in functionality with Swift data that allows us to easily manage like our persistence within a SwiftUI application. But obviously, you know, that would depend on what version of iOS we support.
I love how when I was watching this earlier, this guy said, like, at one point you could say like, well, I know that I need to do this, this, and this, but do you mind if I look up the syntax for that? And then he was like, they should let you do that, and if they don't, you don't want to be working there anyway.
If we were supporting versions of iOS that where Swift data had not yet been released, we
like
could then opt in.
That's one of the things. That's exactly one of the things that absolutely pisses me off about the education system. Not only does it give us inaccurate information and biased information, but there's some dumb expectation where you need to remember everything that you come into contact with. But you don't. You have the internet almost at all times. Like, sure, test us on the practical stuff, but you don't necessarily need to test us heavily on our memory. That makes no sense. How you motivate yourself to code? Good question. I actually don't know. I am absolutely addicted. I am obsessed with coding. I love Swift. I love coding in Swift. It's just so fun coding. Maybe it's just coding in Xcode. It's just really fun. And I love to do it. I love to learn it. It's just fascinating sometimes to just see things happening that you're just writing lines of text and you're like, whoa, that is happening like right in front of me right now. And I'm doing that and it works. Oh my God, that's awesome. Like that's what goes through my mind. And I'm just like, damn, I got to keep going. I got more and more. I want to do more. Jitty in Discord just messaged me back in the Swift channel. So we were talking about like the what is it? The new Xcode, and he's like, "Oh, you probably need the new Mac OS beta to run it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think so, but I hope you don't." And then he's like, "Just now, you need the new Mac OS to get the AI integrations," and I literally just figured that out.
Using core data. I'm personally not the biggest fan of core data. I think it's very overly complex. I think for something like this, we could probably just use file storage with the file manager and sort of write all of these contact informations.
Does file manager relate to UI? A user defaults Swift. I don't know how to use file manager actually. That's definitely new to me.
to a
I'd have
JSON
to look into
file
that.
in the file storage of our.
How do you guys motivate yourselves? Damn, a bunch of you guys regret not doing Xcode stuff, Swift. But a lot of you guys are, you know, fine with where you are. That's good.
Application, we would then implement something like a cache, where we would have the functionality to save and retrieve data from our file storage. And lastly, we could potentially use SQLite. Personally, I don't think that's necessary. We don't really need a relational database here. We don't really have a lot of querying capability, and SQLite requires a lot of boilerplate code, and it's really complex. So I would most likely go with the file manager in that situation. Next up, guys, should we use a remote database for this application? I was actually asked this type of question in my interview with Meta, and my answer would be potentially yes. And it would be simply to serve as backup storage in case the user were to like lose their device or something went wrong. But we don't need to pull information locally from our database because all of this is content that is generated by the user. Like there's.
Should we use a remote database for this application? Does that mean should we take this user's data and hold it on a server for them? And then, you know, we won't touch it at all. Wink. Oh, yeah, someone else said they really love my keyboard. They actually wanted the name of it. I didn't expect it to be so loved.
No.
I didn't expect it to be so obvious that you guys can hear that, but I guess it's really obvious.
Real interaction they need to have with other users on this application. So everything can be stored locally. And the only thing I would use a remote database for in this situation is to serve as backup storage.
That's when you say, like, if you're actually going to Meta and they're asking you, should we use a remote database for this application? To get the job, you say yes, right? Because if you say no, then you're against their data mining operations.
And we could make sure that we just periodically save the information like once a day, once a week, something like that, and back it up to our remote database just so that the user doesn't lose their data in case of weird things happening, like losing their phone or getting it stolen or whatever. And then, guys,
that just doesn't make sense. No.
How would we handle large list of contacts for performance? And this answer is more simple. I would pretty much just talk about pagination. We already are leveraging the use of a list in SwiftUI, which handles lazy loading for us. So we load items on an as-needed basis, as they appear or disappear from view on the screen. So we already get that sort of performance benefit by using the built-in performance optimizations in the SwiftUI list component. Another option would be to use something like a lazy VStack, but then we would lose the ability to have those built-in swipe actions. So I would definitely keep this as a list. But pagination is a big way to improve our performance and make sure that our scrolling is optimized. If we were to potentially have, like, let's say 10,000 contacts in our device, we wouldn't want to load all of that information at once. We could definitely paginate through to make sure that we load more data as the user scrolls to the bottom. So those are the follow-up questions, guys. And I think those are all pretty good answers there. And they communicate that you understand like what happens when you need to build apps that need to handle large data sets, and that you can understand the type of things you need to do to make an app scalable.
I like this guy because he goes over what's important to do, I think, important to think about and talk about. By the way, if anyone's new here and you'd like to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, I am so close. So I'd love for you to subscribe. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much if you do. Much appreciated.
Also, things like business logic and requirements, right? With things like remote
and
database.
Feel free to join my Discord as well if you want to. It's relatively new, so we only have a few members in there, but it's getting bigger. It's actually getting bigger.
And also knowledge of more like in-depth data persistence and stuff like that. So I think those are three really good follow-up questions with three really good answers. So you guys should be prepared
Follow-up questions.
to answer follow-up questions about your code, whether that is for a live interview or a take-home interview when you do sort of a follow.
You know what I want to get for my channel, my streams here, and I think I don't know how this might be very difficult, but I honestly I don't know if I shouldn't assume. You should never assume, but I don't imagine. I guess any of you might have seen this one guy's stream, but his name is Quinn69, and he has the funniest he has the funniest stream bots. Like if people redeem something or donate something, they can choose to have the bot say something like an AI. It starts speaking, or a song gets generated. That would be so funny. I want to add a comedy layer to my stream. It'd be hilarious. What's happened at WWDC this year for the dev section? Didn't have time to watch this year. Well, it's pretty cool. Some of the stuff that stands out is Linux can, correct me if I'm wrong, Rabin, but I think Linux can run in a container now on Mac. Is that right? And then you can import a freaking AI model directly into your Xcode project and have AI run locally on the device. And then the user can use the AI to do something. You tell the AI generate, you make a button, for example, generate a hiking trip. Tap it, or generate an itinerary. This is actually an example they gave. Generate an itinerary for a trip to this place, for example, and say it's Japan. And then you tap the generate button, and the AI will run locally on the freaking phone, and then generate the itinerary, which is mind-blowing. What else? There's tons of other features. They integrated AI finally into Xcode, so you can do that. There's a ton of other features. What else? There's a entirely new design framework. So it's it's called Liquid Glass, which is what they named it. Looks really cool. I think that's generally the highlights. There's probably some other cool stuff that you might be interested in with Xcode. There might be a summary video actually out there. I haven't actually done one. Not necessarily that I was gonna do one, but you know what I mean. I don't have somewhere to send you. If I've only watched the official one, so it's an hour and 30 minutes long or something like that. You can have a look. Oh, it's got some really interesting text-to-speech features too, which I was blown away with.
Follow-up interview. And to conclude this video, guys, we're just going to go through and do sort of a wrap-up of everything we did. And I'm going to act as an interviewer, asking sort of follow-up questions about your code. That is something that you will commonly see in take-home interviews and live interviews as a post-game interview conference, so to speak, right? They're going to ask you what you did and why you did it. So let's go ahead and just start from the beginning with our contact model. So imagine an interviewer asks you hey, why did you make this identifiable and hashable? We only told you needed these properties. Why did you do this? So we sort of talked about this already. So I'll just do a quick recap. We know that to display items in a SwiftUI list, we need to conform to the identifiable protocol or have some.
Pretty cool. Liquid Glass looked like Vista repurposed though. Yeah, true. Everyone was saying that.
Unique identifier for each item, and this helps us accomplish that.
Everyone was saying
and
that.
We know.
I'm not gonna lie, I wish the icons looked more like glass when you put it in the clear mode. Cause why isn't there a glass mode? Why is it clear mode? I don't want clear mode, I want glass mode on the icons. Stupid Apple.
Oh, that too.
I'm a fan of Apple, but I'm not an Apple fanboy, if that makes sense. If Apple's dumb or does something stupid, I'll be the first to say it as well. It's not like I will defend all of their decisions. Definitely not that type. Everyone thinks I'm an Apple fanboy, but I'm definitely not. Like, I can recognize the stupidity in anything.
Be able to navigate
Even myself.
or
Especially myself.
create navigation links, our objects need to be hashable. So that's another reason we added that conformance. And then we also need to make sure that we can check to see if contacts are equal to each other or have equatability. And having these two protocol conformances gives us that ability to accomplish that. And that's why I
change
added
my my thing, because I'm not quite looking at Xcode at the moment. Job. What should I name this? Job. Interview. Prep, I guess.
those protocol conformances and this ID property. Okay, next question. We see that you like added this initials property on the contact object. Why did you do that? Why didn't you place this on something like a view model or something like that? I would say, well, we absolutely could place this on a view model. I just think this property is more accessible if we place it on the model itself. That way, if we need to display this anywhere, we don't have to be coupled to implementing a view model there. Anywhere we display a contact, we could access the initials property through use of the contact object or by means of the contact object. So that's why I chose to put this here. So that's another follow-up
I
question,
love to
guys.
hear this reasoning. This is really good
right.
for me as well.
So in our contacts view, let's just jump in and start breaking this down. I'd say, okay, so like, why did you choose to make a view model here? Like, why didn't you just put everything in the view? And a pretty simple answer to that question is like, well, I chose to go with the MVV.
I do need practice with the search results thing, because I know that like builds upon exact what you were already doing. So you end up putting it here after you already have your view model in there, I think.
Architecture here for this application. I personally think that is my preferred architecture when I built
Liquid glass images. Apple. So this looks cool. The designs look cool. Wait. What's that? You see that? That's bad. Apple clear style. It's probably not what I want. Liquid glass style, and then I like this. This is cool. The new. But that's not. That's. Why can't I zoom in? Look, that's. Is that like glass? Oh, I guess it is. It's not. No, it's not, right? Like it's not quite what I was imagining that it would look like. It looks the same theme gone. Looks like the theme gone. Yeah, I know. Like, why? I don't know. Something's. Whoa! What the fuck? Something's wrong with it. What? I'm stuck. Like, cause the colored version looks better, and it's just called clear. But like, why'd they name it clear and not glass? That bugs me. Like, this looks better than this. You know what I mean? Wait, where's the original? I'm too zoomed in. Wait, what? Where's the original icon look? Brother! It's because of my searches. So this page has a photo. Can't zoom in properly, but look, that's why not? Why? Why? Seriously, like, why is the dark and light modes not like, okay, why can't the clear mode be the icon's normal colors, like, let's say with a slightly darker or lighter shade of like glass, and then just a glass like clear background. So like basically you'd see that fan of color for the photos, but it would be clear background. You'd see the color on the photos but clear then back behind it. And then you'd see the camera thing, but it'd be clear, like the edges would be clear. And then these numbers would be dark but clear for the color would still be there, like purple, blue, it'd all still be there, except it would show slightly darker tint or lighter tint depending on what mode you had, and then the color would be altered slightly. Just, they made a mistake here. I think it's a mistake. This is a mistake. It could have been, they could have done better.
Why I chose to put this here. So that's another follow-up question, guys. All right. So in our contacts view, let's just jump in and start breaking this down. I'd say, okay, so like, why did you choose to make a view model here? Like, why didn't you just put everything in the view?
I have read it on notifications sometimes, and why do I have a notification for Oz female fashion? Why would I even have that? I don't need to know about female fashion.
And
I've never even looked at anything like that, and it gives me a suggestion for that.
Simple answer to that question is like, it's down. I'd say, okay, so like, why did you choose to make a view model here? Like, why didn't you just put everything in the view? And a pretty simple answer to that question is like, well, I chose to go with the MVVM architecture here for this application. I personally think that is my preferred architecture when I build SwiftUI apps because of testability and a clear separation of concerns. All of our business logic goes in the view model, and that is responsible for providing our view with data and handling updates to our data source as well. Okay, great. So that's another awesome one right there. Next up, the rest of this view is pretty straightforward. I would maybe ask about the navigation destination stuff. I'd say, hey, like, we noticed you use navigation stack and value-based navigation. Why did you choose to do that? And that's when I would start diving into like my knowledge of navigation stacks and the new navigation APIs with SwiftUI. I would talk about like how the navigation view API before was suboptimal. Basically, it coupled our navigation logic to the view, and this navigation stack and navigation destination modifier allows us to extract that functionality and give us value-based navigation that's a lot more data-driven and doesn't involve coupling our navigation logic to the view. And that comes back to why we set our contact up as hashable and set this up as a navigation link here and add our navigation destination modifier here. Sweet. So that handles our navigation. Next up, this view, let's talk about the searchable stuff. I would as an interviewer maybe ask like, hey, why did you implement the search results on the view model instead of doing it on the view? And once again, I would say because of that separation of concerns, we want to make sure that all of our logic associated with updating or filtering our data source is in one place. I believe that creates a better separation of concerns, and it also allows us to implement tests for that functionality in a much better way when all of that functionality exists on the view model. Great. So that pretty much wraps it up for the contacts view, guys. The rest of that is pretty straightforward. We just have a row view here with the swipe action. We have a sheet presentation for our contacts view and just a simple toolbar. So next up, let's go to our add contact view. I would say, hey, like I noticed you injected this as an environment or into the view environment. Why did you do that there? And I would simply say that, hey, well, adding a contact, we need to make sure that we add it to our source of truth or our data source. And that exists on the view model, so we need a reference to that view model inside of this view in order to accomplish that. And going down to our add contact function, Another follow-up question I would ask was, how would you implement form validation here? And I would simply say, like, you would just want to make sure that all of these properties meet certain requirements. For example, you would want to make sure like a person's first name doesn't have letters or characters, like odd characters in it. Same with the last name. And then you would want to make sure their email is
I am definitely going to go over this later, but I actually want to get started on something. So how about we actually make this thing right now, or try to make.
So here's an
build this. We might follow along a bit to start, and then I actually want to run through it one more time, see if I can do it on my own. Is that an AI robot talking? No, it's actually a guy with a really great voice.
So here is the completed application.
It's a real guy using a really good mic. I think you can see him in another. It's that guy there. So he does a video of WWDC. Dub dub. Everyone says dub dub. Dub dub 2025. WW. Just checking that you can see the guy in here. Vision OS bashing was on point. Bashing. There he is, look.
What's going on, guys? WWDC.
There he is. Wait, sorry, I zoomed in too far. He exists. He's real.
25 just dropped the biggest Apple updates in over a decade. And
bro, his room is empty as fuck.
Honestly, they're pretty cool.
The AI didn't know how to generate a room, so. And then he said, please make my AI avatar with some unique feature. So they like did a slice in his eyebrow there.
There's a complete liquid glass redesign with iOS 26. There's a bunch of new features that have been added to iOS 26 and macOS and Apple.
What do you mean? Do you know him? Is he? Look, I'm not trying to stereotype, but he kind of looks like someone who could get banned from YouTube. And you got this chain here. You got this sliced eyebrow. You got the player hair, or you know, that hairstyle, the pump. Holy. Okay. You got like an empty room that has nothing in it. Like he had to flee his other, you know, his original place of filming, and just like start up in this new spot. He's like on the run. He's like not just banned from YouTube. He's banned from like society. And look, he's got a tattoo as well, and he's got I don't know. I'm not gonna bash on him. He gives some great information. This is all jokes. This is all jokes. He's obviously a real person.
Intelligence and a bunch of really awesome stuff, and we're going to be covering all of the highlights and key moments from WWDC 20.
I'm not gonna watch this though. I was just showing you the guy. Oh, he got bigger.
Dynamic material of like a glassy, sort of glossy UI.
Oh, he's way bigger now. It looks like his name is Paulie. Oh yeah. Oh man. He does.
That was my
classic, like really cool shirt with like one word on it that doesn't make sense. Younga.
Modeled
I really hope that's not an Aboriginal term, because I just made fun of Aboriginals then.
After Vision OS. So it's
he could be like, he has the skin color for it.
UI tweak.
That's not profiling, is it?
Kind of a full
Paulino
design reset. You'll
jeez. No, I like this guy. He seems really knowledgeable. So I'm just kind of trying to recover everything that I've said about him by that one statement. Well, man, I like the thing. I want to put more comedy on here. You know, just intermittently between the coding. That's what, like I was just saying before. I want this AI system where this guy has like people who donate or like use rewards or whatever. Does YouTube even have rewards? I don't even know. Like, you know how Twitch has those like Twitch points or whatever you can redeem for stuff? I want to have that where it like generates an AI song out of like some prompt that you give it, or just like says something. That'd be absolutely hilarious. It's literally recorded forever, and then watch me get banned off YouTube now. Time to make my backup account. Give me 1 sec. I need to grab a drink. All this bullshitting and tearing down of this guy make me thirsty. Right. So, yeah. Yeah, you started this, right? Yeah, it was you. You said he was like an AI or something. You bitch. What? Oh, oops. Do you use OBS to stream? Yes, I do. If so, you can set up commands and streamer bots and all. Yeah, I know I can. I appreciate your help, by the way. But I think the AI bots that I'm talking about, I don't know if they're free or not, or if they're like actually available to the public. I feel like the streamer that I've seen use that type of bot has paid someone to make it. If not, that'd be awesome. I'll try and incorporate it, but otherwise, does YouTube Live have points? Maybe I can now, considering they just added like on platform AI. While you're watching this, do you guys get like points for watching or something? Like, you know how Twitch does the points thing? Do you guys get points for this that you can redeem? We get to watch more ads. What? Wait, hold on a sec. Do you guys actually get... Do you guys see ads on my video? This video here? Because I don't have ad control at all right now. Okay, well that's good. That's good. Because... Good. Yeah, because the bitch YouTube... I mean, I saw one when I just joined in. Oh. Maybe it's just at the start. Because, like, I don't know. I don't know how YouTube, like, thinks about channels that don't exactly have full monetization rights. Because, like... I don't have any control over the ads that run in any scenario. However, on my popular videos, and apparently this video, which you saw an ad on, which is like maybe over 200 views or something like that, you go in and you see an ad. I don't know how YouTube looks at it, but like none of that money goes to me either. It just goes to YouTube. So that's why I'm trying to get to my 1,000 subscriber count. You don't get ads during the live stream. You may see some ads after the live's ended. Yeah, and maybe before it starts, like you did, right? So, all right, let's actually build something here. Let's build it. Let's try and build this app. It shouldn't be too complicated. I need to organize my. Fuck! I need a third screen. I need a third monitor. I technically have another one here, but it's really old. Really old. It's old enough to not have an HDMI port. So, yeah, I can't quite connect it up. We are going to build this app because according to this guy, this is a typical interview, like take-home interview or live interview potential app to build, to be told to build. So we're gonna try and build this, and I think we know most of it, but we're gonna kind of follow along a little bit, or I'm gonna follow along a little bit because I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I need to follow along actually. I might need to follow along, though. I don't know. Let's have confidence in myself, though. So where am I gonna... I'll make a new program for this, actually. File. New. Use the new liquid glass UI Apple introduced. It's available as an API. I give it a shot. It's a bit laggy, but still good. Ooh, good plan. How do you import it? I actually don't know. Is it just a classic import thing, or is it like is it like a modifier? How is it set up? Okay, yeah, I'll bring it up. Storyboard? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, we're gonna call this job interview contacts app 1. Contacts. One. I'll just say 1 because I'll make a full another one when I do it again. Dev work. Let's go. Oh, there's a great... That reminds me of an amazingly hilarious line in a DC animated movie I saw. I am a huge fan of DC not the comics, but DC Comics is in like their media, and their animated movies are like top tier. They're like as good as Marvel live action, and Marvel animated is garbage, and DC live action is garbage. It's like they crisscross swapped. And there's this line at the beginning of one of the movies, I forget which one, where it's like a Justice League one, and Superman, there's like something, like a meteor or something barreling towards Earth. No, it was something else. I forget what was happening exactly. Something was gonna hit Earth or something like that, and then like the Justice League are like standing around this thing, like thinking, "Oh, what the hell do we do now?" And then they're like, "Anyone got any ideas?" And Superman's like, "Oh, you know what? I have an idea. I could just push the Earth out of the way." And then Batman's like, "There's not enough time in a week for me to explain all the reasons why that won't work." Oh man, that was so good. I'll never forget that. I just love the dynamic of like Superman being like, he has like the ideas, he'll just throw them out there, doesn't matter if they're really stupid, and he's not like, apparently he's supposed to have a really high IQ, but they don't really portray him as that. I guess it would overshadow Batman, because Batman is supposed to be the world's greatest detective. So I'm happy with that dynamic where Superman's a little bit dumber than Batman. That just makes it absolutely hilarious, because it kind of makes him like the dumb brute a little bit, which is like the dumb happy brute. Like it's a fun way where he's like a really good guy, and he's so good. His good overpowers his smartness. Flashpoint Paradox, my fave, the anime one, of course. Oh yes, that is insane. And Reverse Flash, he was in that one, right? I think that's the one. Man, that is amazing. Did you hear about a canceled Batman project? They wanted to use Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse animators to make it. Whoa! No, I didn't. Holy shit, dude. That would be amazing. Why would they cancel such an amazing idea? Jesus. Those Spider-Man movies, those Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and stuff like that, amazing. Top tier. Those are top tier animated movies. Get rid of that. All right, let's. I want to. Can I copy that? No.
That we just have a
I used to be able to.
very
I
simple.
swear. People were using OpenAI Sora to make clips of it from the leaked graphics. Excuse me. Oh, really? Graphic for this one was insane. Huh. That's cool. I haven't seen any.
vertical.
If you have any, actually. What is it? A Batman project? Was it? Batman by Spider-Man animators. Maybe I, Spider-Verse style Batman. A Batman Beyond? Was it? Alright, I it's pretty late. Good night. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for chatting. Dude! Oh my god! Sorry, I'm yelling, but fuck, Batman. I love Batman Beyond. I love him. I think he's my, like, one of my all-time favorite Batman. Fuck. No! That would have been so freaking good. You're kidding me. Was it actually canceled? Was it actually? Or what, like, that says it could be. They want James Gunn to greenlight it. Oh my freaking god. Oh. Oh, I don't want to see the video. I just want to I just want to see that image. The images are overworked. They would never greenlight it. Oh no. Batman Beyond feature is being pitched by my dad, the bounty hunter, co-creator, Patrick Harpin, the Spider-Verse artist, Yuki Demers. Oh my god. Wait, is this in Japan? Or China? What is... That's is that... Oh no, it's Japan, I believe. That's Japanese there, katakana. What is this character? It looks so familiar, actually. Holy shit. Oh man. Oh man. Fuck! That sucks! That sucks ass! Okay. There is yeah. Gotham. Gotham City, oh yeah, yeah. Does looks like it. It does, yeah, it seriously does. Whoa! Look at the poll here. A lot of you are already Xcode devs. The most of you. Well, it's now actually now it's 30%. Hell no, fool. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to divert sometimes. More than happy. That was amazing. Thank you. How did I not know that? How the hell? I've been Omega into my Swift learning, and like another huge interest of mine right now is UFO. Not just right now, but like UFO stuff, alien stuff. And like that's kind of, to me, this is gonna sound weird maybe, but like nothing else really matters to be honest, like in my opinion, then nothing matters more than like the whole, this is gonna make me sound crazy to you guys who might not like be, you know, in this world, but in this world as in like have the views that I do, but yeah, like there doesn't seem to be anything more important than disclosure happening. I don't know if you guys have heard about any of this. 2019 would have been a canon time for you if you're interested in UFOs. September 2019. What happened at that moment? I'm just gonna move this Safari window. It's way too big right now. Oh shit. What have I done? Safari. Oh, yeah. I knew about that. Yeah. Yeah, that was... I remember that. I remember that. But like, yeah, the thing is, with that, I feel like no one really realized it, or took notice of, remember what Bob Lazar said? That, I don't know if you, you know this, but he, you know, said, the crafts are not being held in Area 51. They're being held at an off-site underground portion of Area 51 where you cannot get access to, called S4. So they were never going to find anything there. Yeah. And like I think Bob Lazar had already said that beforehand, so I kind of knew that nothing would be, you know, found. But it shows that people are really interested. I think that's the point. And it's great what's happening now in the government. They created this, you know, that task force for the declassification of federal secrets in the U.S. And I guess they're gonna, like, they've got a few things on their plate, but the UFO one seems to be eluding everyone right now. Make a flight scanner app, but for UFOs. Dude. I wish. There's no way There's no way to access the systems I would need to be able to track those. Wait. Maybe I should get Ashton Forbes. Do you know who that is? Get him involved in it. I'll make the app and he like gets me the access to the special satellite systems. Is it still too big, the Safari? It's on my main, it's on my home screen. I mean my other screen now, so it's, try not to, there we go. That should be fine. 1,000 sub collab live event. Oh my god. Imagine having Ashton Forbes like, hey, can you get access to like classified satellite data and no, not that. Can you get access to like operational classified military radar systems for me, please? I mean, Ashton Forbes is the one working on the MH370 disappearance. So like he's made some major groundbreaking discoveries, I think. And I think some people just aren't paying attention. Shame on them. Shame on them. All right, that text is too big, sorry. Here we go. We're going to put that maybe here. Sorry, I'm doing this a little bit. I'm doing this live like last minute now. Sorry. Sorry. Put that here perhaps. And then I just realized it's not even showing my new one. There we go. But we could just reverse engineer the aircraft emissions and filter out the common aircraft to find the anomalies. Reverse engineer the aircraft emissions. Filter out the... Interesting. Well, how would you wouldn't be able, like, how would you measure the emissions though? You wouldn't be able to. Like, how would you tell what had an emission and what didn't? You know? Like, I get it if you did it based on speed, but at the same time, drones. The drones, you know, the massive, like, drone incursion over New Jersey, that, like, I am absolutely convinced, like I'll tell you, I fully believe that that was not only aliens, but that was also the US government trying to cover the fact that they're aliens that were doing that. And or one other thing that could potentially be possible. I don't know if any of you heard about that 4chan leak that the guy leaked about he talked about well, he didn't say this specifically, but did he? Wait, did he? I don't know where I got this information now. I think it was from the 4chan leak, but like the drones were actually created by the underwater facility that operates in the Bermuda Triangle, which is the thing that actually has been making everything disappear all these years, and that's a real thing. And then that machine thing, that mothership or whatever that creates these things, which is a non-human origin, is of non-human origins, is running out of resources, and that thing has been protecting the planet this entire time from other non-human intelligences from interacting and interfering, or, you know, like in like global catastrophe ways. So the idea was that the military actually faked a nuclear like threat in New Jersey to force that machine to think there was a threat there and create a bunch of things to search for what was never there, using up its resources to, you know, finally for once and for all decommission this thing protecting the planet. But I don't know if I, you know, subscribe to that. I actually think perhaps if that thing does what people say it does, which creates ships, which I don't actually doubt that it exists. I doubt that it's a a positive entity in the beginning. I think perhaps that could be a negative entity, and the entity is actually controlled by the things already on this planet. And those entities that control this planet and society are actually the ones that put that thing there that stops good other species from coming here, or like monitors that. I don't know. Could be. Anyway, air quality as well as the levels of CO2. But how would you directly target that thing? You know what I mean? Like, what would you be using to target that? Like, what system? That's the thing. Like, radar wouldn't tell you that, right? Surely this is fake. Sounds too Hollywood in my opinion. Here's the thing, and I'm just gonna... This is for the benefit of everyone. Like, I tell this to everyone. And I'm not trying to force you to do anything, but you should maybe try and consider that Hollywood is actuality and reality. Star Wars, for example, Star Trek, I think those are much closer to reality than our reality itself. And there's a lot of other reasons. There's a lot of reasons, I should say, why I say that. I'm not just saying that because of, you know, I thought that. Like, I never thought that before. I never thought that because it's a movie. Like, you know, we're told to believe that movies are fake, but there's a lot of reality, I think, that actually makes it into movies. And there's a whole hidden section of science that's been classified from the public, so what does that tell you? And a radar, but you can gather the data from the satellites that give us weather and forecasts on your phone. Oh, interesting idea. However, I will counter with on the negative of that, where you would have to have very real-time data. Would that not entail a very expensive satellite? The satellites record more than just precipitation and all the stuff that gives us weather. Yeah, it's a $1 billion experiment. It's not really possible to do. Yeah, well, I mean, that's... Look, we can entertain things, so why not? But I liked how you were giving me the positives and I was giving you the negatives, even though I was still entertaining this idea. Okay, let's try and start this up.
Scrollable list of
So
contacts.
this is what we're making, basically.
Each contact displays the user's initials in this sort of circular initial view.
You guys can see that, right? Oh, yeah.
Their full name and then their email in a vertical stack. And each one of these is navigatable to a detail screen. So if I click on, say, Michael Jordan,
there are things similar to that I kind of want to do. Like, I would love to work with AI. This is another tangent, but like, I would love to work with AI at some point. And also, there's some like higher level ideas that I, and also even my girlfriend, or I should say my fiance now, had, where, for example, you could use like, you know, what are those things, like, you know, the app Waze, the like the driving, the directions app, where people can like, you can tag like, oh, there's a cop here or something. You can like tag, user tagging features. I wanted to do one. My fiance actually had this idea where you could actually tag where near, like, wherever you are, if you could tag where like water stations are. Yeah, Waze Maps. I was just giving an example of like user saved input, or user like driven data, I guess. Is that a right way to say that? So like, if you wanted, like, we found this issue. We had this issue when we went to Sydney and we're like, where is the freaking free water fountains? We can't find them. So we had this idea, or she had this idea actually, where like you could download this app and you'd be able to see all the, it's just like any other app where like plug and share, where to charge your EV and stuff, where to get fuel, and users can like log how much it costs. users in this app could log the location, like wherever you're standing, perhaps. Like log this location as it has a free drinking fountain or like a refill bottle, and what features, perhaps like you can drink but you can't refill your bottle, or has a refill bottle station, or has like a dog drinking station. Choose tabs. Wait. In Australia? I'm talking about, I should say I'm talking specifically about Australia, but I'm going to check that. Choose tabs. Oh, really? Wait, what? No. Hold on. For Android? I don't see one for iOS here. Invasive Victorian. I found it. Is it on iOS? Because I just searched choose tabs, and like the first thing that comes up is that chooser, whatever that is. What are you gonna choose? Tab Genius. Tab Genius. Tab Son. I mean, if you can, yeah, because if you can show me that, then I don't have to make it. And I can just download it. But I couldn't see it, so maybe there's wait, there might be a web-based version. Choose tab. Yeah. Is this it? Tab Finder, right? Let's type. Wait, let's type Sydney. Yeah, let's get it. Oh yeah, so but this isn't in an app though, as far as I'm aware. Water Finder on App Store. Really? Why couldn't I find this before? Oh. Interesting. Well, you know what? I'm gonna download it and see if. Here's something weird. Why would an app that shows you where water fountains are offer an in-app payment scheme? That's a bit strange, isn't it? However, this app fully works with Australia, apparently. So that's awesome. Great news, I don't have to make it. Yeah, okay. Well, forget that idea. That's fine. I'm glad it exists, and I'm glad that thank you so much for showing me this, actually. Because that's awesome. How do you get... I don't know what the in-app payment is or how that works. That's weird, but whatever. Yes, it's one of my biggest problems today. Any app I want to build already exists. Oh, yeah. I feel you. Like, it's good and bad. Like, you realize, oh, I don't have to make that, and so I can use it and solve that problem. But like, you really got to find some unique problems, I guess, in your life. I found two so far that I think will actually be okay for apps. One is the, you know, that stretch app that I'm making, and one is an Etsy app, actually, that does not exist in the way that I want one to. It doesn't exist as an app form at all, actually. So yeah, that's gonna be great when I can make it properly. Okay, so let's take a look at this.
Navigate over to an edit contact screen that populates all of their information here. and I'll have the ability to either edit or delete a contact here. So pay attention to a couple things. Pay attention to the presentation logic of the save button. It only becomes enabled if I actually change information on the contact. If it is the same as the original contact, it is not enabled and we could simply cancel. If I hit save,
I want this this list here. Does he have it here? Access the course here, Swift concurrency cheat sheet. I don't know what that is, but I'll take it. Swift interview cheat sheet. Our course is free iOS interview guide. How I thought there was a way to. There used to be a way to like actually just copy what you saw on the screen here. Sign up today. I mean, one of the only things I might actually sign up for. That's the same thing. Damn. No, I just wanted that transcript there.
Save my changes, as we can see.
Oh yeah, good idea. I've been out to make an app for two man dates. Basically, it's a dating app, but every profile is for two best friends. Wait, what do you mean exactly? Like, basically it's a dating app, but every profile is for two. Oh, so like two people want to date, like go out on a date with like two other people, for example? Like a double. No, I don't know what a two-man is. Double dates. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, double dates. Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be cool. Like, people are always interested in, like, trying new dating things. I'm gonna take a screenshot and see if I can get this.
Here, back in the original contacts list. And to delete a contact, guys, we are going to present a confirmation alert. We can either cancel from there or simply delete the contact, and that will also update our list in real time. And we can also search for contacts here. So I could search for, say, Kobe, and that will filter down my list as I type. And if I exit out of the search component, it will just restore the list to its original state.
Let's make...
And then last but not least, guys, we have the ability to obviously add a contact. So I could go back here and re-add Steph Curry. And we could say like steph@gmail.com and hit done. And guys, now let's check out our problem statement to get the full details on what exactly it is we're going to be required to build here.
We can use the chess ranking formula like Zuckerberg did. Oh, interesting. Interesting idea. That could be good.
Here is a formalized list of our requirements, guys. We have, first off, our data model.
Hello, formalized list of requirements.
Is a formalized list of our requirements, guys. We have, first off.
All right, let's do this. Just take a screenshot. We've done it. Oh, fuck, now I have to open it. One sec. See if I can do this. Where is it? There it is. Wait, can I copy this? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. Yes, you're a genius. I should have known. I should have realized to do this. All right, we're copying. Whoa. That is not good. Let's just clear this up a little bit. It's a bit of a mess. Maybe I just look at, this is kind of messed up. Maybe I just look at his one. It's kind of, yeah. It's gonna take too long to organize this. Oh well. I'm not gonna retract the genius statement, but I'm just gonna look over here. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is create a contacts file. So let's do a file from template, and let's do just a Swift file because it's just data and contact. Is his name contact? Yeah. Right. So we want to make a struct here. Oh, Jesus. This trick got me through 90% of uni. I think the shortcut to auto indent is command plus. Would that work, do you think? I'll try it. I'll try it. That did not work. Oh wait, hold on. No. What have I done? Building. Okay, no, that didn't work either. Yeah, I think it's usually Control I, but in this case it's not actually working because there's no indentation needed, I think, with this, because it's not really like code. It's just a, you know, it's just Jesus, notes. What is it? Comments. That's what I was trying to say. My phone is dying. It's fine. All right. So we need. Oh wait. What is wrong with me? Contact. We need those two, and then we need UID var name var. It's kind of giving me what I need. What was the last thing we needed? Oh, last name and email. Okay, I wasn't gonna change that, but if this is a job interview, I probably should just do it the way that I should be showing them, you know. Okay, yeah.
Our data model requirements. So this is what every contact is going to be required to have: a first name, a last name, and an email, as we see in our list here. Here's our viewing contacts requirements. We need to display a scrollable list, display the contact initials, and next to that display first name, last name, and email, as we can see here in the UI. We're going to have to be able to add a contact, as we saw with our functionality here, edit a contact, as we saw with our functionality on this edit screen. So enable save button only if changes have been made. If changes have been made and a user tries to exit, show an alert confirmation. So this is another cool feature. If I try to change
That probably needs this, I think. Dave. What should I name my contact? Is this gonna work? Melton. Melton, an example. That's not gonna work. Oh, it. Hold on. Do I need to put that in? Really? No, I don't. This is some. Hold on. I'm gonna redo this. Not do this yet. Okay. I need to initialize that there. Do I need to do that? I forget. There we go, yeah. Contact, oh no. Contact. Contact in. Contact dot first name. Text. And we don't have a contact, so. Wait, why is ID coming in now? Ah, right, that's why. Hold on. That's clearly wrong. Equals. Oh, that's right. Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay, that should be fine now. Contact. Can make it empty. Does that work? Yeah. Let's do. Tesla. This is gonna be divisive for my fan base right now. Fan base. Model Y. Tesla at tesla.com. That should load, right? That should work. There. Oh, there we go. Ooh! List is rounded automatically now. Guys, that's cool. Okay. We'll just put another one in here. Model Cybertruck. Maybe I shouldn't be naming Nissan Leaf. This is just for fun. Nissan at nissan.com. So that should. There we go. We got two there. That's great. So that's working. Did you select iOS 26 when configuring the dev environment? No, I didn't. This is just automatically on the new. Well, I'm just using. Oh, look, it is. It's automatically there because it's the new Xcode. So it just automatically conforms or is updated to that. So that's cool.
Content.
Let me turn my air conditioner down. It is getting a little bit chilly in here. Chilly, chilly, chilly. So glad I have a new air conditioner that actually has an app that I can activate with. Can't believe it. Man, I've been with such such a bad and also broken air conditioner for so long before I got this. So happy. That's why it's rounded. Yeah. It's awesome. I like it. I'm happy.
Act again and try to cancel.
So we got the we have this view contact. This is the data model, right? Is that right? I should name it contact model. Any issues there? Probably. Probably in here, right? Contact model. Yeah. I should have done that other thing to... I didn't expect that I was going to do that, so that's fine. That is fine. I do know I can rename that very much more easily. So we have our model. And view contacts. Display a vertically scrollable list of contacts. Display contact initials in a circular view for each contact. Next to the initials view, display contact first name, last name, and email. SwiftUI. So we need to look at the UI.
We're going to get this alert confirmation.
Let's do that again. Go back a little bit. Look at
An
the
email,
UI.
as we see in our list here.
So here's our UI. So let's make a new file. It's going to be a SwiftUI file this time. It's going to be contact card, I think we'll name it. And this is going to have, I think I need state var contact type contact. Model. Is that right? Because it updates, so I might need a at state here. Which means it needs to be var. Let's just go with what we have and then we'll correct it as we see what he did. Because I think I might be wrong here, but we're just gonna take this one and put it in there too. For now. What? Did this just crash? Like contact. Can I convert value of type contact model to specify type contact model? Oh, oops. My bad. There we go. So we have that. Now we want to be able to display that. So we're gonna copy this design here, which should we have it all in one spot? Oh, we'll need initials too, right? Var initials. I guess we can do that later because we're not going to make that thing first. Oh, whoa, 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 it knows. String first name, prefix 1 of A. I don't think I need that. I actually don't know how to do this properly. I think I need to see him do this because I haven't done this before. Returns a string of... Oh, what if I do first name dot prefix plus last name dot prefix. Cannot apply to two rejects. What? Is it prefix match or just? Wait. Yeah, I need to see how he did this actually. Well, for now we'll just get that out of there. Get that out of there. All right. This is like the contact card. So, contact card, we need a V stack with an H stack. And in the V stack, we need oh no, it's not here. The H stack is first. So we need contact dot first name. Oh no, we need text. Contact dot first name, and then no. Hold on, just undo that. There you go. Copy, paste. Of course I... Okay. Does that work? Value type contact model is no first name. Value of type contact model has no member first name. Does it not? Now I'm confused. Anyway, let's just okay. I don't want to. It's kind of what my idea is, but wait, let me contact. Oops, what's happening here? Oh, right, I don't have access to the model there, so don't have access there either. I need to remember. Fuck, it's always my issue with the data transferring and stuff. That is always where I screw things up. I'm okay with that. So I got that to work.
Here's our viewing contacts requirements. We need to display a scrollable list, display the contact initials, and next to that display first name, last name, and email, as we can see here in the UI. We're going to have to be able to add a contact as we saw with our functionality here, edit a contact.
How do I... No, that's not right. Damn it, having a brain blank.
As we saw with our functionality on this edit screen, so
Let's skip forward
enable
to
save
the
button
start
only
of it.
if changes have been But before we actually write our first line of code, guys, there's something extremely important I want to talk about and stress the importance of. In live interview examples, it is very important that you communicate your thought processes as you go through your building the application line. Started with is our data modeling, right? I think that provides a good infrastructure for how the rest of the project is going to be built. And it's an easy thing for us to knock out. So I'm going to go up to the contacts app, and that is going to be how we uniquely identify each contact.
So we're going to use just types. He uses types here. He even has a string for this. I could do that too then.
And the first name, however, can definitely change. Last name can change, and email can change. So it's important to make those things variables because later on we're going to need to be able to edit contacts and ultimately potentially mutate those properties. So next up, I am probably also going to want to conform to the hashable protocol here. I know that these things need to end up being navigation links, and the hashable protocol conformance is required for that as well. And with other pieces of functionality in the app, like checking to see if a contact has been changed and stuff in the editing screen, we're going to want to make sure that we have hashable and identifiable conformance. And I believe that will automatically give us like equatable conformance as well. So we can check to see if two contacts are equal to each other. If not, we can always come back and add that later. And I want to take a quick pause here, guys, and go over some notes about some of the things we did when defining that contact object that display a high-level understanding of data modeling. So first off, we added properties that weren't listed in the prompt to our contact object, but they are necessary for this application. So that's the ID property that we see here. So each contact should be uniquely identifiable for multiple reasons. One, we need that to display them in a list, and we are also going to need that later on to check to make sure one contact is equal to the other or not, and that's going to help us out with this editing functionality. So that's point number one, right? That wasn't communicated in the prompt, but we knew to do it anyway because of some of the functionality that's required in this application. That displays a high-level understanding of of just how to model data. Next, we added the correct protocol conformances. So we added these conformances to identifiable and hashable, once again, to make sure that everything we need to know to make these in these sort of live interview. Another folder here. And really quickly, guys, this communicates like strong file organization. This is why I'm so like sort of anal about this.
Let's organize that too. That's actually really important. What is going on with this app here? It's not. Why is it not showing the view here? All right, let's make a. Oops, what did I just do? New folder. Is that right? Is he using folders or groups?
So I'm going to create another folder here, and
folder
really quickly, guys.
It always confuses me when people use groups. Maybe that's an old thing to use groups. Folders are the new thing. Views, and I want to make a new folder too for model, and then a folder for view model. So we got content view is going to go there, views, contact model is going to model, and contact card is also going to be views there.
This communicates like strong file organization. This is why I'm so like sort of anal about this. Like in the professional world, files are very, very like neatly structured and ordered, and it's important to do that in an interview as well. You don't want to write messy code. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and create a contacts view here. All right, guys, so we have our contacts view here, and you guys might be seeing some files and stuff in here that you don't recognize, and that's because I had to come back and refilm a small portion of this video. Part of the...
He makes a contacts view. Is that not going to be... Wait. Is that not going to... That would just be the content view for us, right? Let's just rename that so we can keep it in line with what he's doing. Refactor, rename. What? Just rename it here. I'll try it one more time. Fail. Contacts view. That's gonna be a problem, I think. Text view. I should be able to do this. I don't know why I couldn't. Maybe it's because it's bugged in the system. Contact model. That's fine. Okay, it should be fine now. Any more issues? Build. Succeeded. Great.
File got corrupted. So if you guys see anything that you don't recognize, that's why. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our UI here. So the first thing I'm going to start with, guys, is creating some mock data. So I'm just going to paste that in there, and you guys can pause the video.
Okay, so I should use the mock data as well. And a private var. Okay, so this can change, which makes sense. So I should consider that. Oh, right. So he labels the ID. He labels the IDs. Okay. Interesting. Contact model. 1. Let's use some electric cars. Tesla Model Y. Elon at musk.com. Let's copy that and just paste another one. To Nissan Leaf. Japan rule. Oh, Jesus, what the fuck? Japan rules at Nissan.com. And let's do one more. Number 3. Let's go. What should our last name be? It's not a car. What I'm thinking of. You know what? Let's redo this. Let's go Brooklyn Nine-Nine characters. So we'll start with Jake Peralta. Actually, should we do superhero characters? That'd be fun. Let's go Clark Kent. I'm not Superman at gmail.com. Bruce Wayne. I'm rich at gothamcity.com. Okay, I'll take it. And then Diana. Fuck, what's Diana's last name? Does she have a last name? Diana. Fuck, what is her last name? I think her just name's Diana, right? Yeah. Thought so. Okay, let's just let's not do her then. Let's do someone with a last name. Oh. Lex Luthor. Snake Eyes at metropolis.com. That's fun and random. All right. So we have our mock
just
data,
create some
like
mock
you.
contacts here. So it's just an array of contacts, and then we're going to create a list and display some information about these contacts. So I'm going to say list for each contact, oops, contacts, contact in, and then let's maybe just say text like contact.email. And we should get that displaying there. So that looks pretty good. We obviously need to build out this full sort of contact cell or contact row view.
Is this because it's the beta? What's going on? It builds fine. Is there some issue in my code here? Let's just... Right, so there was an issue with that. Okay. Yeah, let's build this up then. This should be fine then. Bro, just load in. Just load in. Oh my god. What's taking so long? Oh shit, did I just accidentally quit it? Fuck. Let me reopen that. Well, may as well give quitting a try. Wait, did I just open the I just opened my regular Xcode with this file. Well, I'm just gonna use regular Xcode. Fuck the new one. Where's my Xcode? There it is. I like the new button though, to be honest. Don't know why it's not well, this isn't loading either. Hold on. This one's fucked. Stop. Stop. There we go. We build. Any issues? There we go. Okay. Let's go back to here. Do this. Huh? Oh, ID. How to go first? Build succeeded. What is happening here? Okay, there we go. There we go.
So that is where this video is going to sort of pick up at, guys. That's where the, file corruption stopped. So what I want you to do right now is create a new file for the contacts row view. We have it right here, and the video is going to pick back up right at this point. Why does it feel
abnormally slow?
Start creating this contacts row view, inject a contact, and gets this UI built out and some preview information built out as well. So sorry for the confusion or the mix up there, guys. Everything should go smoothly from here. So this is going to pick back up with the contacts row view, and basically back inside of the contacts view, we're going to say something like contact row view and pass in the contact. All right, so see you guys.
Oh, maybe it was on the wrong iPhone.
Yep. So the first thing I notice is that we're going to need to create some sort of computed property to get the user's initials or the contact's initials. That's something we can come back to. I just want to get the UI built out for each one of these cells first, since we're already here. So
oh my god,
I know that
this unexpectedly. What is happening? I've never had an issue with this. There must be some sort of weird shit happening here. Because I made the file in the other one perhaps? I don't know. So we made a contact card. That's why I named it instead of contact row view. And then we can use the preview to show a contact, which I did that initially. So we have to put a contact model in here. He uses .init, but I could use, Jesus, I could use this. So I could use like Jason borns, and then I remember everything at CIA.com. CIA.gov. There we go. Cool. Got that going.
This is going to be an H stack.
So now I can use that because that's how. Thank you for reminding me that. Let's grab our V stack here. But we need is it a main H stack? Oh, we need an H stack on top of this one, don't we? This one will have the, well, that, but not exactly. 40. It's not going to be that. It's going to be, you know, the icon. Insert initials here. And then here we have a V stack with an H stack, which will say contact. Can I get access to this here? Is this where I get access? Oh yeah, okay. Contact dot first name. Another one. Last name. Yeah. And then below that we want the email. Paste email. There we go. That should work. Yeah. And then can we do a alignment dot leading? Does that work? Yeah. Cool. That's pretty much what we want, right? But this is, yeah. Insert initials view here. We'll make an initials view for that.
And
that's pretty good. Kind of did that by ourselves. Kind of.
Then next to that H stack is, so we're going to have like our circle here, and then we'll have our user info here.
And then for here, we'll go in and put for each contact in, we'll be putting contact, card, contact. Yo, look what we freaking just done. That is sick. Damn, man. I just... It's those moments that make you feel good. Make you feel really good. Is that what dopamine is? Is that the feeling of dopamine right now? So this V stack, this H stack, we want a... perhaps a padding, and then we also want font dot what do we want here? Title, maybe? It's too big. Title 3, and then this one's dot font dot title. I know. Dot sub headline, perhaps. Yeah. Dot foreground style. Dot gray. Forget the padding. There we go. Separation. Little bit. 44, 44. Make it kind of the same size as the, you know, this thing. Maybe 46? Yeah? Perhaps? Let's check that out. Dot foreground style dot blue. Blue! What the fuck? That was weird. All right. I'm liking it.
And this is going to be a VStack.
So we can actually
So
skip
we
through
know
this a
do
little
some
bit.
strings and then another. That's our full name right there. And then below that,
So he used one line for that. I could condense that. That makes more sense to do that, I guess, right? So maybe I should do that. Yeah, it was an unnecessary space. Yep, I will concede I failed that
we're going
moment.
to want our text for the contact email. And we're going to, it looks like
Wait, then I don't need this in an H tag. Oh, okay, there you go. Let's re-indent this. Go.
we're going to want to make this a foreground style of gray. And we want to make this VStack have an alignment of dot leading.
Cool.
Yeah, so
pretty
that
much
looks
what he
pretty
did.
good. Next
Pretty
up for this circle, like I said, we'll come back and bring this sort of initials guy back in later. But I think we could just add a placeholder for now. We could say like MJ. And then we are going to give this a foreground style of white, it looks like. And then we're going to give it a frame of width and height. It looks like it's about 48 by 48.
I mean, I won't bother with this part
A
because
background
I'm happy with this as a...
of some type of color that's like system gray 4 or 5. And a clip shape of dot
I
circle.
love clip shape. I love that feature.
All right, so yeah, that looks pretty awesome right there. So that's pretty good for our UI so far. Next up, I can
It's a
add a
manual way,
spacer
definitely.
at the end of all this to sort of push that all the way to the left. And if I want, I could also add.
Should I do that too? Spacer. Push all the way to the left. Whoa. There you go. Maybe a bit of padding? No, no, wait. Is it? Can you put padding on the spacer? You can. 5. That's weird. It's not what I want. I want to put it here. No, no, no. No, no, I want to put it here. Right? Yeah, that's where I wanted it. That's good.
Some horizontal padding to that.
Oh, wait, we don't need the padding, right? Because it's going to go into a thing separately here. We don't need it. It automatically, in a list, it's fine. Yeah. Cool. That looks good.
So now that we have our row view built out, let's go ahead and go back to our contacts view and replace this with our contact row view. And just pass our contact along.
I'm going to rename it just like he did because contact card doesn't make sense. In my head it did at the time, but contact card to me is like what shows the entire information about the contact. Contact, I'll just rename, I'll just do it the way he did it. Contact row view. Done.
Yeah, so that looks good. And actually, because this is already in a list, I don't think we need to add that padding. I think by default. And go.
Skip through this. We didn't do the
Next up,
padding.
while we're here, I know that we ultimately want this to be searchable, and we want to be able to
Here's
navigate
something I need to learn
from
properly.
each one of these items to a new screen. So we could go ahead and just embed this guy in a navigation stack. And then we could also make this searchable.
the searchable thing.
And
So I just need to add a dot searchable to within the nav stack, right? Dot searchable. Dot searchable text prompt.
we're going to need text and prompt, it looks like. So we're going to need to create a state property for our search text. So I could do that here. State
Yeah,
private var
state
search
private var,
text.
search text
And just make that a blank string.
string.
Pass that along here.
Search text.
My prompt can just be search.
Okay.
And this looks pretty good. And then it looks like our navigation title is contact. So let me.
Oh yeah. Dot nav title contacts. But this won't search right now, will it? No. It won't do anything. We have to. Well, that was weird. Did you see that?
Do that as well.
So we have that. It's looking good.
All right, so this has already started to come together pretty nicely, guys. So right there, that just really communicates to an interviewer that you're very fluid with SwiftUI. And that is sort of what the expectation would be for me with the senior engineer.
He
if
says that's the expectation for a
were
senior engineer, not a junior.
choosing to do a Swift.
Fascinating. Does that mean if I know relatively this stuff, I can get a senior engineer job?
UI interview. Obviously, not every
Because I know a lot of it. It's kind of crazy for me. Crazy for me to realize this.
iOS engineer is fluent in SwiftUI. But if I worked at a company where all we were using was SwiftUI or we're trying to transition into SwiftUI, this would be very important. And this is the type of interview I would be giving. And like I said, this is an exact interview that I've actually received. So to continue, I just want to compare what we currently have to the completed application. We have our search bar, we have our cells, but we notice that we have this toolbar button up at the top. So I think
yeah,
that's
the
what we're going to
toolbar.
work on creating next.
I think I can do the toolbar by myself. Let's try. So let's add a. Let's just actually just add a dot toolbar here. Bar. That's fine, right? Toolbar item. Placement content dot top bar trailing. Content is a button. Alright, wait. I want a system. Boyton. Jeez. My keyboard's out of control right now. My fingers are out of control. I want an action and label. Image. System plus, that's what I want. And then button. That should come up. Yeah, there it is. So this is going to be add contact. No, that's not going to be add contact. It's going to be add state private var add contact show add contact sheet bool false show add contact sheet dot toggle, I believe. It's gonna be a sheet that shows up. It should work, right? No? There's no. Wait. Oh, right. Yeah, you need to add a. What am I thinking? Dot sheet is presented. Content. That's exactly what I want. Add contact view. But right now, I'll just put it as nothing. And it should let me preview nothing. Yep, there you go. And then we want to go presentation detents dot me. Oh wait, what? Maybe I'm in the wrong section. Dot presentation detents dot medium. Hold on, where do I get the sheet present? No. Presentation detents, right? Why do I have to init? Is it this and that? Oh, hold on. contact row view dot presentation detents dot medium. Bro, how do I get to it? I can't remember. Okay, fuck that. Let's just add contact sheet. Oh, just, yeah, there we go.
The ability to click this button and have it modally present a sheet that will allow us to add a new contact.
So make an add contact sheet here. New file from template, SwiftUI view, add contact sheet. And then this will, like, it's going to be a form, right? And then we can make, you know, I'm going to make some adjustments compared to what he did. Section, name. First name, last name, email, just to make it a little bit my own. And then we'll put in a text field, title key, text. So we need actually at state private var, first name, last name, email. Thank you. First name, nope. That goes here. First name, yep. And this is gonna be enter your first name. There we go. Copy that. Paste it there. Last name, enter your email. Email. Last name. I hope I've done this right. I like this is like sort of separated a little bit. So let's go back here. Let's open this up and see if this works. Sick. So we need a couple of things here. We need a dot toolbar, toolbar item, placement dot top bar trailing. We need an at environment dismiss var dismiss. Then we need button. Add, yeah, and then let's have a button. No, hold on. What am I doing? Top bar trailing is add. Toolbar item. Top bar leading is button. Cancel, dismiss. Does that have to be within a... What does it have to be within? Wait, toolbar is... Hold on, I think it's in the wrong spot. No, it has to be within a... What does it have to be within? Can it be... What are its limitations? Let's see. I don't think VStack actually works. I think it has to be a nav stack. No, right? I took an extra. That won't work, right? Yeah. Okay, I think it has to be navstack. Navstack. I thought it was navstack, no? Oh, but it's not within it. There we go. There we go. Yes. Oh, and it works. Sorta. Some of it does. That's great. Let's keep going.
So first thing I'm going to do is add
We've pretty much done that.
that toolbar button. So I'm going to use the toolbar modifier to do that.
I feel like
And we're going to have a toolbar item with placement and content.
I feel like adding should have the word add, not done.
It's going to be in the pretty straightforward. The presentation. Swift's type inference handle the rest. So next up, we're going to then. I don't really think we need to cast the data as a Boolean. I think we could just set it equal to false and let Swift's type inference handle the rest. So next up, we're going to then say show add context view dot toggle here. And then we need to add a sheet modifier to this. And if we remember from the prompt, guys, let's go back here. Our navigation logic, add contact should be a modal sheet as we see here. And edit contact should be a navigation push. So we're going to do this first, and then we're going to do the edit contact screen next.
How do
so
we get this
really
to...
quickly, let's go ahead and create that add contacts view. So I'm going to create a new SwiftUI view called add contact.
I thought it was easier
view.
than this.
And for now, let's just say text add contact. And let's go back to our contacts view
Does it have
and
to have the
add a
init
sheet
thing?
to
I
our
don't think
list.
so.
We'll use the is presented option, and we'll say show add contact view. And our content is going to be our add contact view. And I always like to remove that content word and just clean the code up a little bit like so. All right, so now we could test this out. Okay, so we're modally presenting a sheet. We do notice that this sheet does not come all the way up. This is like a sheet with a certain sort of presentation detent.
It is
so
the detent.
We can go ahead and add that capability now here as well. So I can say add contact view dot presentation detents, and I could go here and say dot medium.
Oh,
That's one of the preset options that I like to
have
use.
That.
And that should be totally fine. If we need to get it to a custom height later on, we can come back to that.
That's why.
Okay. So while we're still on this screen here, we have our modal presentation sort of knocked out. Next up, I think we could get into making these items tappable and ultimately have them navigate to an edit contact view.
Here's something I need to practice.
So what
I think this needs to go into a navigation destination. A nav link, sorry. Sorry to myself. Title and destination, or title and value. A value is different, right? Title and destination will go. Test. Destination is this. Oh, the name of it. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so no. Let's redo this. Nav link. Link. I'm pretty sure I want this one. And then I have to... Wait. No. This is not... I don't think this is what I want to do. It needs to be contacts row that shows. Okay, hold on. I need to see what he does.
I would do to
I'm on the right
accomplish
track,
that
though.
is make this contacts row view a navigation link. So I would just cut this and say each one of these is going to be a navigation link, and we're going to use the value and label option. The value is going to be our contact. The label is just going to be our contact row view. And then we're going to add the navigation destination modifier to get us over.
So okay. And that won't click right because you need the dot modifier. The dot modifier? Nav destination modifier? For destination, I think, right? Hashable is contact model dot self, right? And then hashable in I can't remember.
To the edit contact screen. So we are going to make this for a contact.self. The destination is going to pass a contact in there. We could just go here and say for now it's going to be text context or contact.firstname. Cool. So now we notice that each one of these has the disclosure indicator.
Wait, does that actually work? Yeah, it does. Cool. It looks weird when you do that. It looks like it's not going to work. So we want, okay, this is how you set it up. So let me redo that again and see if I can do it myself. Let's just undo everything so it's not fucked up. All right, so we want to make this a navigation link. So we need a nav link, and we use value and label, create a navigation link. We use the hashable data we have and our own label, right? So that makes sense to put, this is our label, so we put it into the label section. And hashable is this contact here. Wait, this, right? So that works. If I put contacts in, it doesn't work. Or does it? I guess it's the same thing, right? But it would be contact in, value in navigation link, value is each contact, and then contact row, contact of type contact. Whew, Jesus. Okay. Then we want to add a dot destination truth, destination nav destination for destination. Hashable dot type is our contact model dot self, and then our destination is it contact in it made a detail value. Yeah, well, that's what you would put in there. So just text though, text contact dot contacts dot wait, contact dot first name. It doesn't show up. That's weird, right? It's so weird. It's like it doesn't want to do that.
And if I tap on it, it takes me over to a detail view with information about the contact. So this is awesome so far, and it's really coming together really quickly. And we're only like 20 minutes into this video, and that has included me breaking things down and adding notes and going over the prompt and all that stuff. So that gives you guys an idea of how fast you can put this stuff together as a high level.
Just for fun, I want to quickly see if I can I change the look of this form? Can I add a background to it? Dot background color system gray. Does that work? Black. Does that work? No, it doesn't. Fuck. Does it not work? Nope. Damn. How dot background dot ultra theme. I wanted to get the glass look going, but I guess I can't. That sucks, though. I wonder if I could put... Hold on. Let's see what we can do here. Let's put this within a VStack. Then we'll put a dot background on it. Dot black, just to... dot padding. Dot corner radius is not dot clip shape. Capsule? That's gonna look weird, right? Rounded rectangle. No, hold on. Rounded rectangle, corner radius of 4. 5. 20. 50. Okay, it's doing nothing. Okay, it's really weird. That is really weird. We're not gonna do that. Oh man, why can't you make... Dude, I wanted to make this look really good. Ultra thin material. Probably looks... I wanted it... What? Oh, you can kind of see it. But it's just white on white on white on white. That sounded weird, but yeah, you know what I mean. Know what I'm saying? Damn, that sucks. I really wanted to... I don't know if you can actually customize it or not. Oh well. We'll keep the form. I mean, it's typical of a... image system name person.fill. Oh no, it's oh, that's weird as well. What the hell? What would that look like in here? Would it even show? Yeah, it does. It's kind of cute down there. I was just thinking of, like, what could I put in, like, right below here? That I like this idea of this image, but it's too far down. I wanted it in the form, but I don't want it in a form. Why did it have to be at the bottom? I guess that's the bottom of the freaking thing. Whoa. Don't do that, I guess. Frame, height 80. It sits down there. Dot foreground style. Blue dot background style. Background color. That's ugly. Let's do the dot ultra thin material. And let's just padding. There you go. Padding 20. Let's do padding 30 maybe. 50. Maybe 30. Dot clip shape. Dot circle. There you go. It's a little bit better. Why is the... because the background of the dot background. Change the color of this. Dot black. What if I did dot padding? Oops. Dot padding. Dot top. Top 20. No, that's not right. How do we get the padding dot top 50? Whoa. We're losing control here. Huh? Can't handle it? Oh, that's weird. Maybe I need the padding on the background. Padding. No, that's weirder. Maybe I need the padding on the bottom one. Dot padding. Oh yeah, that's it. Dot top 30. There we go. I wanted it like centered like that. I don't even know if it's gonna look good though. Let's see. Right, so it covers up the entire thing. You can't. That's that's wild. So you can't see anything. That's fuck that. Forget that. I just wanted to see if I could do something fun there. Or I guess I could maybe make it smaller just for. I don't know. Ultra thick material. No, it still covers it too much. Alright, forget that. I just wanted to get rid of that. Whatever. Anyway.
Engineer.
See
But
what
anyway,
we're
let's keep going. We are going to build out the UI for the add contact view. And after that, we're going to go into the edit contact view. And that's really going to wrap most of our UI work up. And then we can come back to adding functionality to those screens. So let's keep this up and let's hop back into the add contact view and get started. So as I would talk through this, guys, I would just sort of talk through,
So I actually built
wrap
this
this up
out.
in a navigation form. And then we're going to give our item with placement to dismiss the screen. And if there's not, just go here and just looks like we
I've done this. I've done this.
done a
I've
headline
done
just to dismiss
this.
as well. But we're also, when we get into adding our functionality to this screen, let's just go ahead and finish up by adding our text fields here.
Let's write that down.
So it looks like I'm going to want 3 state properties. One for my first name. Pretty
Have
straightforward.
those.
And this one is going to be first name, the first name property, and that to the last
I
name
did mine a
state
little bit
property.
differently, but
And
that's
then
fine.
we want the same email property. We could, just so that when
Oh, yeah.
the user's using this in an
Sure.
actual application and the keyboard pops up, it has all of the necessary sort of keyboard or email components. And we could also say .text content type is .email address. And this will give built-in system functionality for pre-populating the user's email and stuff like that.
Cool.
So these are two like really nice to haves that really sort of flex your SwiftUI knowledge, guys, and overall iOS knowledge of how the system works with filling out a form. So those are two big nice to haves there. You could also add things like .text input auto capitalization is like never, because emails are typically never capitalized and they're all lowercase. So that looks really good there. And that's for now going to wrap it up for our add contact view. Let's go back to our contacts view and see what this looks like with our presentation detents. So we go here. And we need a navigation title as well. And we don't need this to be of medium height. We could probably shorten it a little bit with a custom height. So back in our add contact view, we're going to say
title, huh?
.navigation title, add contact. And we definitely don't want that to be the large
small
title
one, right?
display mode. It's not doing that in the completed app. So let's make .navigation bar title display mode .inline. So this looks great. And back here,
Holy, what the?
we could replace the medium with .height, I believe. And let's try like 300 pixels. And that looks really good.
Okay, let's try that. Detents height. Is it dot height? Yeah, dot height. Say 350 because this is smaller, I think. Let's get 375 instead. Nice. I think that's perfect.
And I would make a quick comment, guys, that says it's typically not great to use hard-coded values with this. So you could perform some sort of calculation based on like the number of fields you have or something like that, so that the presentation detents would automatically adjust. So I would just make a quick note of that. That's definitely not something I would bother with implementing in a live interview. Also really quickly, let me just clean this up. Perfect. So this is looking really good. Next up, let's go ahead and build out the edit contact screen. So I'm going to create a new view for that, and it's going to be called edit contacts view, or edit contact view, rather.
Contact view.
And we need to pass in a contact here. So we're going to say let contacts be a contact. And we also need to sort of recreate this form that we have from our add contact view. And we just need to pre-populate that with the contact data. So we need our preview here. We can definitely just grab that from our contact row view. So we can grab this and paste it in there like so. So now our preview will build. And next up, we need to create this form and this delete contact button at the bottom. So
okay, yeah, I can build that actually. Actually, just take it all from here, right? Take the form. It's basically the same thing. We're not using bindings in here, I think. But I could just do exactly the same as here, I believe. Well, no, binding would be better. Binding would be the one to do, but so we have fields. No, this should auto-populate as well.
To me, that indicates that we want to be inside of a VStack here. We want to have some sort of form, and then we want to.
Yeah, that's right. It should be in a VStack too.
Have this delete button down at the bottom. So I can say button delete, and we could just say delete contact here. And we could style that later on. And for the form, we have this pretty much exactly inside of the add contact view. So we could just go ahead and grab all of this stuff from inside the form. And ideally, we would want to maybe create like a reusable form to reuse between both of these views instead of copy and pasting code. But for the interest of saving time here, I'm just going to copy and paste this stuff. So it looks like we need properties bound to these text fields. So we have a couple options of how we could accomplish this. We could make like state properties for each one. Our first name equals this and that and that. Or we could actually make this contact property a state property and bind them through use of the contact object. And I actually like that approach better because
I'm interested
this way we won't have to like recreate our contact object using these properties. We can just make this a state property like so, and write an initializer here.
So that initializes the contact model. Then that's where you can contact dot first name. That's how you do it. Contact dot last name, and then contact dot email. Is that right? Damn, it is right.
And initialize that with the contact that gets passed in, like so. And this will allow us.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Is that the same thing? Init contact model, right? Of no value contact equals state initial value contact. So I don't know what that means. I'm gonna, I wish I could mark. Can you mark something in here? I don't know. I'm gonna write it out for now and see type contact model underscore contact equals state initial value contact. So I don't get this. I don't know what that means, but come back to this later. I'm gonna try and see if this works. If it doesn't, I'll just, it might be the same thing. I don't know.
To then bind through the contact. And anytime these properties get changed, it will automatically propagate those changes on this contact object. And we can then, perform the necessary operations from there. Whereas before, we would, instead of having all those individual properties, that's a little bit more messy to me. So I like this approach better. But either way works fine. This is just my preference. So this looks pretty good. Next up, what do we want to do? We need to make sure that we build out our toolbar as well. So we don't want to wrap this inside of a navigation stack because this is a detail view.
So we want an edit button, right?
Next view is the parent. So we can just go ahead and create a toolbar here. And
wait, what? Oh, right. The parent has a toolbar. The parent, wait. Oh yeah, because it's in a nav stack. Right. Dot toolbar then. Toolbar item. Dot top bar leading is gonna be button. Cancel. And then is the other one gonna be dismiss? Is the other one gonna be edit?
I can reuse the code from my add contact view because we have cancel and save.
Oh yeah, I need the.
And we're also going to need our dismissal guy.
Yeah, I need the dismissal guy. And environment / dismiss var dismiss and then dismiss. All right, there we go. So that should, doesn't say it here, but because we can't see it.
So I could go here and say environment. And this is going to be save instead. And then our navigation title is going to be edit contact.
Oh wait, save is going to have dismiss on it, right? Save. Save can be here. Oops. And this can be cancel. Cancel? Or edit? Cancel, right?
And navigation bar title
nav title dot edit contact dot nav bar display mode dot inline.
Display mode is dot inline. Okay, so let's go back to our
So cancel as dismiss, right? I thought it was edit, gonna be edit.
contacts view, and then make sure that we are going to our edit contact view from here.
Right. Oh, we don't want that. We don't want that back button there. Dot nav back hidden. Is that it? Nice. Save should go back as well, yeah. Okay, so that works. That's cool.
And pass along our contact that we get from our navigation destination closure. So we go here, and there's our edit contact view. That looks really, really good. Awesome. Okay, we actually, it looks like we want to hide the back buttons. Let's go and say,
so let's
take a look at how that looked. So this will dismiss, this will save and dismiss. So this is looking really, really good. So that just about wraps it up for our user interface, guys. Next up, and once again, just want to take a quick pause here to sort of go over everything we just did and how we explained it. So I'm going to hop back into the edit contact view. And the first thing I want to mention is how we talked about that copy and pasting code here isn't ideal. And that ideally we would want to, in a perfect world, create maybe some sort of reusable form to use across both the add contact and edit contact view. But for the interest of time, we went ahead and said, hey, let's just copy and paste this. So that communicates a couple things to an interviewer. It lets them know that you have the right priorities in mind. Like getting as far as possible with a balance of like good code is the goal of this interview here. It's not to write the most perfect code and make everything like pixel perfect, essentially. It's to communicate to them that, hey, maybe this could be done better here, but I want to get as far as I can here. That's the priority. That's the main goal. That's what dictates success in this scenario. So I'm going to stick to that. And that translates, or that concept translates into the professional environment as well. There's a lot of times where you might not be able to implement the most perfect solution for something, and you might have to prioritize a deadline. Right. So communicating that understanding to an interviewer is very, very important. And it's something that will give you a lot of brownie points there. So that's thing number one. Thing number two was how we talked about different approaches of accomplishing the same thing. And that was related to how we passed along these binding string properties to each one of our text fields here. So the other approach would have been to create 3 separate state properties and pass those along as we did in the add contact view. And we can leave this up here for now. And when we come back to the functionality of actually editing this screen, we'll see how both approaches can be used. The main point I want to make here is that we talked about different ways of doing things and then made a decision and justified our decision. That's another...
Okay, I really need a drink. Hold on. Whoa, I've been here for 3 hours. Good for me. Oh man. Jeez. I got so thirsty. Um. Sorry, one sec. I'm just sorting something out. Where are we in this thing?
Really important
I'm gonna skip forward a
on a
little bit.
thing of, and you'll have to be here, and these will give you brown. But anyway, let's go ahead and now hop back into the prompt and just get an idea of where we are. So it looks like viewing next, we have this and leave the no functionality, but not too bad, right? So that's checked off. And okay, so guys, let's go ahead and jump into sort of computed property or method to get these initials. Where do we want to put that code? I think it's best to put it on the contact, put it on something.
I agree with that, but I need to see how he does it.
So let's go ahead and make a variable for initials here, and it's going to be an optional string. And here's how we're going to do this, guys. We're going to take the first name
in case they don't enter the last name, right?
Last name, and we're just going to grab the first letter from both things. So we are going to say that we want let first
Is that going to work?
equal first name dot prefix.
Oh, we need something to hold it. Let first equal let last equal return first plus last. Is that right? No.
1. Let last equal last name dot prefix 1, and that just gets us the first letter for each thing.
Okay.
And then we're just going to return a string with first plus last.
Ah, okay. First plus. Must be.
I'm not even sure if we need to make this optional, because we should be guaranteed to have a first name and last name every time.
Well,
yeah, so we're good to go there.
You won't be guaranteed. Maybe this is something he missed. You actually won't be guaranteed if you don't enter a last name, and unless the thing doesn't let you enter it. And I think he didn't set that up. So I think I have an edge on what he said there.
And let's go back to our contact row view and see if we can implement that. So here we just had a hard-coded text of MJ. Now, guys, we'll be able to just say contact.initials, right? So let's delete these comments as well. So that's one reason I liked having it on the contact object itself.
Oh, oops, I should keep that other stuff there. Just make it text. Oh no, it's pointless. Text contact.initials, and then we need initials, right? Or do we?
Because now we can access those initials anywhere we need to.
Wait. Oh, right. I need to. It's a text, right? Optional JB. Right, I didn't safely unwrap it, right? Probably have to do that. I wonder if I could do that. Guard let no, wait. Guard, just guard. First is it First is not empty, last is not empty. Does that work? Probably not, right? Provide default value. Otherwise, NA. But okay, yeah, but does that mean I don't need to do it here? Probably not, right? Yeah. I just have to make sure safely unwrap it there. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's this part's a little bit nuanced. Dot padding dot frame dot background dot black dot clip shape dot circle white dot font dot title 2. Huh? Is that not it? Title 3. Oh, it's too big. Title 2. I need. Is that right? No. Do I just need, wait, what did he do? Frame 48 and just a background? No padding then? As long as it fits the, you know, I guess. Jason Bourne. Should we do white or black or dot ultra thin material? Yo, that's bad. Black. Or blue? I don't know. Let's see. How's it look? Ultra thin is fun. There's no way to make it. Cool, that's pretty good. LL Cool J. You know what? I think I should go pick up my fiance because it's annoying as fuck for her to take public transport back home. And I'm technically free at the moment. I mean, I'm working on stuff obviously, but yeah, I think it's just nice to get picked up. So, I'm gonna take a break there. That was a pretty good run. Not gonna lie. I appreciate everyone who came in here. That was awesome to chat with everyone. It was really fun stream today, honestly. If anyone would actually like to join the Discord, I'll put a link in the chat really quickly. We can have a quick look at the poll. I do have to go. Fuck. Let me see here. Share this. Invite people. So I'll sort out some stuff later. But here's the link for the. Can I paste it in there? Here's the link for the Discord if anyone wants to join. If you have not subscribed and you're interested in subscribing, that would be awesome if you could help me get to 1,000. Feel free to unsubscribe after I get to 1,000. I'm just trying to take that ad money back from YouTube. And much appreciated. And I think I will leave you all there, and I'll see you in Discord or probably on a stream tomorrow. So yeah, have a great night, guys, and I'll catch you in my next one. See ya. Oh, and take care. Take care, everyone.